In the 19th century, a woman's place was in the home. Suffragettes sought to change this by seeking the right to vote through organized protest in a non-confrontational way. Suffragettes were mainly middle-class, educated women. They wanted to improve social status, rights, and opportunities to become equal with men. Australia was one of the first countries where women got the vote. Methods included protests, meetings, debates, letters, pamphlets, and petitions.
This is Abigail Payne reporting from Melbourne, Australia. Today I have the great privilege of speaking to Vida Goldstein about some of her endeavours as a suffragette during the war. So Vida, tell me a little bit about yourself.
So my name is Vida Goldstein and I was born in 1869. I'm the eldest of 5 siblings and attended the Presbyterian Ladies College in Melbourne.
What are you most well known for?
I'm most well known for my campaigning for women's rights, particularly for their right to vote and for equal pay among men and women.
Why are you campaigning for this?
Well, during the 1800s, a woman's life was very different from what it is now. In the 1870s, women couldn't even buy their own property. Imagine that.
Who inspired you to become a suffragette?
My father inspired my sisters and I to become well-educated women, and my own mother was a suffragette as well.
What other notable things did you do in your life?
Well, during my life, I ran a primary school with my sister, published 2 magazines, The Women's Affair and The Women's Voter, ran for the Women's Suffrage Committee as a secretary, and also ran for National Parliament in Australia, which made me the first woman to be nominated in Australia for a National Parliament.
It's been fascinating talking to Vida today. She's been an inspiration to me personally and many women around the world.
My dear Mrs. Cat, I am delighted to know that you are back again in this country. It gives us strength to know that you are as near as you are. I am sorry that I may have seemed at any time disheartened at the situation here, or at the task before us. I can become very impatient. The situation in connection with suffrage has been very disturbing at times. One of the candidates for the Democratic nomination made suffrage an issue in his campaign in the Eastern countries, where the sentiment is strongly anti-suffrage, appealing to the prejudices of the people. The rival candidate, an avowed suffragist, backed down and tried to deny all previous connection with the suffrage cause. Great bitterness was aroused as the contest progressed, especially in the eastern part of the state. My hopes are centered in the pressure that will come from the National Democratic Party and from the MC Democratic leaders who went to the San Francisco Convention and there caught the National Democratic point of view in seeing the need of women's vote to the party. That's all for now. Yours very truly, Katie.
The work of the suffragettes changed many things for women. The way women look, the jobs that they can do, and the way they are treated is very different now after the work of the suffragettes. The way families look and act is very different from the way they were back then. And even houses are very different.
Good morning, my name is Bronte Hutchinson and I'm here in Adelaide to talk to Miss Elizabeth Wheaton about how her life has changed during the war. Good morning, Elizabeth. Would you be able to tell the viewers a little bit about yourself?
Sure, I'm just an ordinary woman and I spend most of my days cooking, cleaning and looking after my 3 young children.
Things changed for you quite recently though, didn't they?
They did indeed. Before the war, I was working in a bakery and then I got married and all of that changed. But once the war started, all the men went away and they needed women to start doing some of the men's jobs. So I started working on a farm as part of the Women's Land Army.
Did you enjoy this work?
It was certainly very different. I'd grown up my whole life in the city, so working in the country was a big change. It was really peaceful and I loved it, but it was hard being away from the people and places that I loved. Also, although we worked just as hard as the men, we didn't get paid as much.
Wow, that's so unfair. Do you still do this work now?
No. Once the war had finished, we all just got sent home because they didn't need us anymore.
As you can see, things changed quite a great deal for women during the war, and they did jobs that no one could have ever imagined before.
Today, women play a very important role in the army. Some are chefs or doctors. Others work on the front line. Others still are pilots, and some are even sailors.